few days ago, my spouse Anthony and I went for a forest exploration. We do this often, especially when we feel like we have been in the house for too long. Thankfully, we are surrounded by an abundance of forests and small lakes. While visiting a large forest nearby, we noticed the soft whisper of leaves above us, only to find tall trees bending and swaying in the wind. The leaves dark against the soft sky. We weren't scared. Instead, we were mesmerized by the perfect formations they were making within and between one another. This was a familiar wonder that seemed new every time. One that made us breathe so deeply and almost in sync with the trunks of the trees. I was grateful for that moment. Perhaps up till then, I had been holding my breath, blocking, as Anthony likes to say. Maybe I am stressed, or maybe my mind is wandering far too often, thinking of how I will manage my everyday life. This is a daunting thought for me, which can only be silenced when I say, I'll see when I get there. This motto stemmed from my days in high school, a place I so desperately wanted to escape while I was in it. On the outside, I think I did an excellent job acting like everything was fine and that I had my life under control. For the most part, I did, except if I traveled into the wilderness of my mind. To be honest, I thrived there. It's full of whimsical, impossible things. Berries that burst into dusted sparkles and vines that chime when the wind flies through them. There are people just like me who have wild imaginations, so much so that when they share their visions with even their closest kin, they are sadly misunderstood. I've had exceptional troubles finding what I like to call bosom friends during my teen years. You may have seen this term on my website or heard them in my poetry, a term that stems from the ultimate guide of my personality, Anne of Green Gables, written by Lucy M. Montgomery. I became so enthralled by Anne's mentality that the only thing seemingly able to make us identifiable as different were our appearances. Not for lacking the fact that neither of us cared much about what others thought of them. Well, I only ever had two bosom friends in my life. Two that I'm sure may have forgotten me by now. What with all, growing up we might have done. These were young friendships, around the ages of 8 to 11 years old. Their names were Carrie and Judah. Both were likely the same spirit split into two, at least that's what I thought. I'm sure God decided they may have been intricate and imperative parts of my personality development as a child, but both of them came into my life and went without much explanation. Even as I speak, I can feel the sadness threatening me with clogged throat and welled up tears. They were wonderful souls and so kind and compassionate towards me. Carrie was deaf, but it never stopped her from being hilarious and incredibly creative. And Judah, she had a very heavy accent, but her calmness and soft spoken, imaginative nature always brought me outside of the reality of school. They taught me a lot about ignoring what others thought and just enjoying life in that moment. They taught me the love of cloud watching, but I wouldn't have treasured them well enough because I was unable to remember their last names and we were too young to own Blackberries at the time, so a wave goodbye and teary eyes were the only memories that I kept. The most unfortunate part was that neither of them were present in my teen years, which may have also impacted my skepticism of others, especially other girls. Even if another classmate had declared us close, there was always secrets, bullying, and snickering happening left and right. I decided in that second week of my first year of high school that this was a test of the fittest, survival, and nothing more. This led to my philosophy. You gotta do what you gotta do to get where you wanna go. And this is what I am choosing to do by starting this series. I want to build a creative community of people described as oddballs, weird, or unexpected, where our introversion isn't bothersome and our imaginings are always welcome. If you are one of us, welcome, kindred spirit. I'm wishing you wonder and room to be yourself from this side of the world. Anyhow, you know who it is. Adios. Just a thought. It goes like this. It's not as fast as it seems, although its pace can be frightening. And in the midst, I catch my breath, for we are about to do it. Something crazy. I see it in your eyes, and I'm ready, not just for changing, but for growing stronger, connecting, growing closer. Yeah, this doesn't really rhyme, It's just a thought. So I really like doing this version of a video. Please let me know in the comments if you have any feedback of what you enjoyed or what you didn't enjoy, and let me know, and I'm gonna try to improve from here. Because I guess the only way to know if I really enjoy doing the process of what I'm doing is to actually try and to post and see if anybody enjoys what I'm doing as well. Who knows? By the way, this is one of my favorite pieces of clothing. You'll see it a lot in my videos from now on because honestly, I'm not somebody who likes to dress up all the time. Some days I just want to be cozy and comfortable, and this is actually Anthony's, but I don't care. I wear what I want. I wanted to focus a lot on just doing my own thing, whatever I really like to do. And sometimes I feel like I'm a complex person, and maybe sometimes I'm not. I have no idea. But I did want to focus on my moment of vulnerability. This will be a playlist on its own when I'm creating more videos here, but I wanted to focus on ways to show myself, on ways to be myself while on the camera instead of performing for you, if that makes any sense. And this is just one of the ways I'm doing it, I guess. I don't know if I'm interesting to anyone, nor do I know if what I'm doing is interesting to anyone, but I'm hoping to find my community by doing this because I know they're out there. I'm just waiting. So I wanted to, in a way, battle my insecurities, battle my self-doubt and the, I don't know, vulnerability that might come along with showing yourself to the world without giving away everything, of course. And I feel like this is something that can really help me to be more and more creative. So let's find out. Anyhow, I'm wishing you all wonder and room to be yourself on this side of the world. Adios.